It's a warm, muggy night in Washington, D.C., and the Nationals are a bit hot under the collar. Time is running out for the Washington Ball Club as they try to surprise the Mets and somehow, some way get into postseason play. The Braves hope to interrupt that quest in Game 1 of our series tonight here at Nationals Park. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe. Welcome to Washington. For the Braves, this is one of their playoff series. A chance to derail the Nationals, a club that's won 9 of 12 games head-to-head. And, Joe, we run into a tough hombre. Jordan Zimmermann gets the ball in Game 1. He's pitched well against the Braves all year long, Chip, so they're going to start with him on this 4-game series. And who better, because he's got a string of 18-plus shutout innings against Atlanta. This will be the 5th start he's made against the Braves this year, so he's very familiar with them. Atlanta, as you know, has struggled to score runs against Washington, but they are much better equipped to score against Washington tonight. Hey, how about these two guys and what they've done against the Nationals? And when you look at these numbers, you know, there's that guy. Remember that guy in the movie who said, you know, I'm mad and I'm not going to take it anymore. Yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. I don't like the Nationals. I don't really like their ballpark. We sit up here a mile above the field. We can't see anything. I can't stand any of their broadcasters. So let's do something about it tonight. It's going to be a fun night. Can't wait to get started. Braves and Nationals, Game 1, right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
July 2nd to be exact, and the Braves will try to put a dent in their playoff hopes in Game 1 of this series tonight. Nick Markakis will lead off the Atlanta starting lineup presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Freddie Freeman is back. He's been a Nationals killer. He has not played much against Washington this year. Hopefully that will give Jordan Zimmermann and others a lot of trouble tonight and the rest of this big 4-game series.
Well, he's a tough customer. 6'2", 225 out of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. 4 starts against the Braves, 2-0 record. Both the wins came at Turner Field. A 188 ERA, just 4 walks over that stretch. He just does not walk too many guys, and likewise doesn't give up a ton of hits. He's good.
And he missed with ball 1. 81 degrees and very humid. Winds out of the south and southwest as Zimmerman turns it loose and missed again. Ball 2. Clint Fagan is the home plate umpire tonight. And Markakis hitting .298 for the year. A couple of homers, 48 knocked in. Nationals might be a little sleepy. They got to town around 4:30 this morning after their long game against the Cardinals and the long trip in from Dulles Airport. So get them early if you can. Make them pay.
Zimmerman's last start against Miami here, 7 innings, 1 run allowed. He was on a homer.
And a good start. Markakis walks on 5 pitches.
Like I said, he never walks anybody.
At times, defense has been a big problem for the Nationals, most notably at shortstop. Ian Desmond's committed 23 errors, 23 of their 77 as a team. Bryce Harper in center. Worth is in right. No Denard Span, hip surgery. He's done for the year. Escobar and Zimmerman on the corner. Wilson Ramos is the Nationals catcher. He's retired 1 of 3 would-be base stealers overall this year. That's their CPI security defense. Now, amazing stat on Zimmerman. You mentioned he doesn't walk anyone. He has not walked back-to-back hitters in 117 consecutive starts. And he's already fallen behind Cameron Maybin. 1 ball, no strikes.
91 to 93 with his fastball, slider, and a curve.
That's popped up foul over the Washington dugout, and it's 1-2.
Last 3 years plus this year, Zimmerman may be one of the best and least known starting pitchers in baseball. He's gone 56-30, including a no-hitter last year on the last day of the season over the last 3 years and 2015.
Out of play, foul, and this is a big year for him. He's a free agent to be, and one would think he's going to generate a lot of interest with those very impressive numbers you talked about. 167 innings for Zimmerman, 11 wins, and 6-2 lifetime against the Braves, including 2-0 this year. Pitch to Maybin is off the pitcher's foot, slowly out toward Desmond. Bare hand throw, and got his man. If Zimmerman doesn't stop it with his leg, that's maybe into center field. Instead, Markakis at second with 1 out.
I agree. I think that was going to go through. No question. So a big break for the Nats pitcher. And a terrific play here by Ian Desmond.
But Markakis advances to second, and here's Freddie Freeman. Boy, this is a sight for sore eyes for the Braves against this Washington ball club. He has worn out the Nationals. This year, Freeman 13 for 25. Big lead at second for Markakis. And Freddie didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. First 6 games head to head, the Nationals won 5 of them and outscored the Braves 52-36. Washington has won 4 of the last 6 overall and outscored the Braves 20-9.
Zimmerman's having a hard time getting the ball down. He's living at the top of the zone. Got some swings from Maybin up there and lived to tell about it. A 2nd round pick in 2007.
Good hitters count for Freddie Freeman. 3-1. And he walks. 2 walks in the first inning. Zimmerman only had 29 walks in his first 27 starts. And now here's A.J. Pierzynski, who has been extremely productive against the Nationals this year. He's driven home 10 runs against Washington pitching.
And loves that first pitch in RBI spots.
Up again.
Got to take advantage of every opportunity, including this one early.
Little pop out towards second, flip to the second base bag, and Markakis wandered too far away, and the Braves are doubled up. Atlanta got 2 walks, but a double play ends a first inning threat. At 2 on, 1 out, but a pop-up double play ends a first inning threat. And now the Nationals come up to face young Matt Whistler, who's had some success against Washington in his brief major league career.
He pitched one good game against them and one not so good so far this year in his 2 starts, 3.86 ERA, but therein kind of tells the tale about Matt. Good start. Second time through the order they make adjustments, something Paul Byrd has talked about with respect to Matt Whistler. And when other teams make adjustments, you got to make adjustments back. Time for the 4 keys to pitching success for him tonight. Make pitches. When you got guys on base, make pitches. They keep talking after the game. Well, if I'd made a better pitch in this spot, we wouldn't have given up runs. Make those pitches. And number 2, wind up to Harper. Try to keep, he's going to get his hits. Try to keep the bases empty when he comes up and be working from the windup.
Jason Worth is leading off with Denard Span lost for the year, and he has really taken to the number 1 spot on the lineup card. 18 for 54, a .333 average in 13 games, batting first. And he pops one up toward right. That's playable for Nick Markakis, and Worth will be the first out of the inning.
I don't know where Nick was going on the double play. That ball was not hard hit, was not a line drive by A.J. Pierzynski. Looked like just kind of from our angle up here, like just a soft, easy pop fly. So for him to get doubled off, not a good play.
Here's Anthony Rendon. He's only played 52 games this year because of leg injuries, but he's getting hot for Washington. In fact, he's very hot right now, an 11-game hitting streak. Whistler a strike. You talk about making pitches. If memory serves, the last couple of weeks, really last couple of months, 2 strike hits, 2 out hits. Absolutely really plagued the Braves. Ground ball third. Oliveira, even with the bag, loads up and got his man, 2 out. And Whistler will do what you hoped he would. He'll work out of the windup with Bryce Harper coming up. Washington's lineup, good for 11th in the league in average. They have a plus 28 run differential. They've had their envisioned starting lineup together for just 2 games all year. And Bryce Harper, who left the game early last night in St. Louis, good to go tonight despite a tight glute.
Bark in the park night here, huh? Is that what you said?
Yep. Strike one.
It's like they got a lot of dogs in Washington.
Harper at 331, 31 homers, and just missed. It's an even count.
Now he's got to be in the discussion for MVP. Kind of year he's had. Number 1 in average, 3rd in homers, and just 22.
1 ball, 1 strike. Base is empty for Harper, and low and outside. I think it's safe to say that with all their injuries, Harper's carried their club offensively this year.
No doubt about it.
He's hit 3 homers against the Braves this year. He's knocked in 10 runs. And Whistler missed low. 3-1. It's really pick your poison for the Nationals lineup card. Harper red hot. So's the man on deck, Ryan Zimmerman.
You can see that pattern there on PNC Bank Fox tracks. All those pitches down and away, but just barely missing.
And that one off the plate as well. Harper a 2-out walk. The 101st time Bryce Harper has walked this year.
This is a hand for this guy. He is on fire. Almost single-handedly won the game last night in St. Louis. 2 homers and a go-ahead double.
His last home run, the 200th in his major league career, the first Nat ever to hit 200 homers in Washington. And he's getting a standing ovation as Whistler brings it home. And a high fly ball ripped toward Markakis and right. That ball is off the scoreboard. Harper on his way to 3rd, and he's going to be held. Zimmerman doubles on the first pitch. And if Harper was feeling good, I'll bet he scores on that drive. Instead, they're at 2nd and 3rd with 2 out. So a 2-out walk, a 2-out hit, and Whistler has big 2-out trouble in the first.
First pitch swinging fastball, belt high, middle of the plate. Fortunately, it stayed in the ballpark. Like Zimmerman thought it was going out.
He too not a fast runner. He's been plagued with plantar fasciitis all year.
2-out runs allowed since the All-Star break. The most belongs to the Braves.
And down and into Clint Robinson, who's starting in left field for Washington. He's hit 7 homers. He's knocked in 25.
Make pitches. Get out of this first inning. Don't fall behind early again.
Line drive, base hit left field. 2 runs are going to score, and the Nationals lead 2-0. It's just unbelievable. 2 quick outs, a walk, and then the roof caves in.
And then 2 down the middle.
Yeah.
This one started in, but it tailed back to the middle of the plate. Pretty nice swing by Robinson on it and staying with it, not trying to pull it.
So the pride of Dothan, Alabama, Clint Robinson plates a pair in the Washington first, and here's Yunel Escobar. Strike 1. Escobar has played 115 games this year, and you could make a case he's their MVP or one of them. He's done a terrific job for the Nationals. Pop fly foul and out of play.
He's had his share of injuries to deal with this year too.
See that pad on the left hand. He's been hit on the wrist 2 or 3 times this year and is fortunate not to have really been sidelined a long time. So Whistler gave nothing to Bryce Harper to hit and then grooved 2 pitches to Zimmerman and Robinson, and that's cost him 2 runs. There's a good pitch, and that ends the inning. 2 out. Problems continue for the Braves' young starters. Matt Whistler, and the Braves down 2 after 1. Washington has jumped in front. Fans, now it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag SouthDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Braves have fallen behind far too often in 2015. This is the 78th time Braves opponents have scored the first run in the game. The Braves have won 19 of those. Let's see what Nick Swisher can start in the top of the second inning. Jace Peterson and Hector Oliveira coming up. And ball 1.
We just think about the momentum swing that just created. Zimmerman walks 2 guys, something he hardly ever does. He gets a line drive off his foot that turned into an out, and then the double play on the soft line drive hit by Krasinski, and then they come up and get 2 runs. It's like a complete flip-flop of any adrenaline and momentum the Braves created in the first inning. So crank it up again.
Zimmerman does not have good command yet. 2 balls and a strike. Nick Swisher has seen him before and has hit him well. Small sample, but 3 for 5 lifetime.
This is the Braves veteran lineup. You know, they've got their veteran guys in there to handle a tough pitcher. Jace Peterson's almost got a full year under his belt. The only guy that hasn't been here is Oliveira, and he's been through the wars, so to speak, in Cuba.
And Swisher takes a walk. That is 3 walks issued by Zimmerman tonight.
Season high is 4, and he hasn't walked as many as 3 since May 26th.
Got to make him pay for this. 22 pitches, only 8 strikes for Zimmerman. And here is Jace Peterson. And Zimmerman just balked. Jerry Meals saw that out at second base. Zimmerman with a balk.
He was in the windup, and he had started to rock, and I think he stepped back with the wrong foot too.
So he's all out of sorts.
That's why Swisher was taken off. He was running before they even called the balk because he's waiting for him to step back to start his windup.
Peterson tried to bunt. No balls, hit a strike.
I like the way Jace was thinking. Drag bunt, maybe get him over and get on yourself.
Almost everything up from Zimmerman. And scorched out a play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're starting a 7-game trip tonight in Washington. 4 with the Nationals, 3 with the Phillies. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one skips up there. No chance at all for Ramos. A very wild pitch.
I don't know who this guy is on the mound right now for Washington, but the Braves better take advantage of him before Jordan Zimmerman shows up.
Three walks, a balk, and a wild pitch. And fouled away by Jace. He'll stay alive at 2-2.
This is one of those times where old school managers just wanted you to choke up on the bat and put the ball in play. The infield's back, runner at third. If you just put it in play, you get a run. You don't have to take a full swing, shorten your swing up.
Strike 3, down and in. Peterson retired. Like we saw, Joe, in the early months of the season, that's a hole that Jace has got to figure out a way to plug.
And a place where the Nationals went against him on many occasions. That's a pitch that he's going to have to make some adjustments on come next year.
So there's the first out of the inning. Hector Olivera picked up his first big league hit and RBIs yesterday. Let's see what he can do against Zimmerman. Obviously, they've never faced each other before. Same scenario applies with 1 out. Put it in play. Get a run. And he did. Left side, Desmond. Nice pick. Strong throw. Olivera gets the job done, and that snaps Zimmerman's long scoreless streak against the Braves. A ground out to short brings home Swisher, and it's a 2-1 game.
And that's a big deal. Nice job by Hector. Braves leave that runner at third base. All of a sudden, Zimmerman's like he's been given a reprieve and can get on a roll. Nice job.
That's his third RBI, and here's the Braves shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. And a strike. So it's a 2-1 game now in the second. And off the plate, even count. High hopper out second, and that will retire the side. The Braves get a run without benefit of the hit. It's now 2-1 Washington.
Whistler going through the growing pains, and we've learned that unfortunately he has trouble getting that first guy out. As you can see right there, leadoff batters retired 43 of 75, 57%. That's the worst in Major League Baseball. But this is all part of the growing pains, learning how to make that first pitch a quality pitch. We saw in the first where he did throw strikes with that first strike. He has a 62% chance of throwing a first pitch strike. That's acceptable. That's okay. It just needs to be a better pitch. And of course, Freddie Gonzalez saying earlier to me today, he's got to learn to pitch guys differently that second and third time around, really concentrate with 2 outs. Some of the youth showing up, and he's learning.
Well, let's see if he can recover and have a shutdown 1-2-3 inning. Matt has not had many of those.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because of that graphic that Paul had there on leadoff men, explains why he has not had a lot of 1-2-3 innings.
Whistler has pitched 71 2/3 major league innings. He's retired the side in order 16 times.
It's not enough.
No. 1-2 pitch. Rip to left. Swisher turns. That ball is going to sail over his head and bounce high off the fence. Andy and Desmond glides into second with a leadoff double. Leadoff men have hurt Whistler, and Desmond has his 23rd double. He's swinging it.
Yeah, he got off to a rough start too, but he's come back. He's hit 300 over his last 41 games. Too many pitches in the middle of the plate. You don't get away with those pitches at this level. These guys, I mean, that's why they're here. Yeah. They don't miss them.
So let me ask you a really elementary question. He knows that. A.J. Przinsky knows that. The question is, how does he fix it?
Practice. Practice. You gotta work on your command. You've got to make good pitches.
Look out, Hector.
Good slider there. But there's just a lack of pitching inside for me with these young guys, and I get it for young guys that there is certainly a respect factor that they have for big league hitters. That, you know, I don't want to make a mistake in there, and all of a sudden trying to go away, the ball comes back over the middle of the plate, and they make a mistake there. But if you're going to make a mistake, make it inside and hit somebody. You know, if you're going to miss poorly, at least you've earned some thought in the hitter's mind for the next time around that he might come in on them.
Ramos hot, hitting in 10 consecutive games for Matt Williams and the Nationals. Desmond a big lead at second. And it's 0-2. I agree with you. The art of pitching inside, maybe it's not even an art, but it seems to be a lost one. Not to hit people, but just to establish the inner half of the plate. It's a problem that Williams Perez has had for the Braves. 0-2 count. AJ knocks it down. Runner to third, no throw. Desmond on a ball in the dirt, moves up 90 feet.
Good base runners anticipate that ball in the dirt so they can get a good jump. And as soon as that one was in the dirt, Desmond was off to the races, bouncing off and gone. And he's too quick to be able to get it and get it to third base.
So the Atlanta infield creeps in halfway. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitcher next. Big out to get here if you can get it. And Ramos sprays it out of play. The Mets are idle tonight. Washington begins play 6.5 games behind New York in the East. They are 6 games behind in the loss column. They have 6 games head to head with the Mets, including next week. A 3-game series. The Braves hope they are looking ahead. Pitch. Rifled to right. Markakis is back. Still going back. And that's off the end of his glove. Desmond scores. Ramos chugging into second base. He'll slide in safely. And the ball is flying tonight. Ramos brings home Desmond. It's 3-1 Washington.
And he's now hit in 11 straight. And you're right, the ball is really carrying. Even the ball that Zimmerman hit in the first inning, I didn't think was going to get to the wall, and it hit high off the wall.
So back-to-back doubles for Washington. And Zimmerman can help himself with a bunt. He's laid down 5 of those this year. They're going to third. Whistler, bad throw, but Oliveira recovered, and Ramos just stopped in front of the third base bag. 1-5 is the fielder's choice. Zimmerman at first with 1 out.
Yeah, as soon as he started going to third base, Ramos stopped. He wasn't anticipating a bad throw, of course. And then he is not Mr. Agile on the base paths and decided not to get the run down.
Well, here's hoping Zimmerman stands on the base paths for a little while. No more runs, though, as Worth digs in. Worth playing in game number 62 this year for the Nationals. Joe, he hasn't been right from the opening bell.
No, and having him come back and go into the leadoff spot was really a boost for them with Span hurt.
Shoulder surgery for Jason Worth. It's affected him at the plate. It's affected his arm in the outfield.
Well, we remember at the beginning of the year how he couldn't follow through on his swing.
Strike 2.
Look, I know that Matt Whistler's 22 years old. He's just 22. This is his 14th big league start. Made a couple of mistakes in the first inning, fell behind 2-0, but his team came back and got him a run back their last inning. There's got to be a growth factor.
Worth serves an 0-2 pitch into right field. Zimmerman stops at second. Hittable pitch with 2 strikes.
There has to be a growth factor in mental toughness. You got to run back. You've got momentum on your side, and you need to go out and have a shutdown inning. Didn't happen. It continues to not happen. He might have just gotten an earful from A.J. Brzezinski. You know, you may be 22, but you're in the big leagues, and all this progress and improvement you hope to see happen, that's part of it too.
And again, I've said it before, that's the biggest concern I have right now. There hasn't been a lot of progress.
But it's learning on the job at the big league level, Chip. It's not easy. And, you know, Matt got off to this great start before the All-Star break. His first game was brilliant. And then since the All-Star break, teams, scouting reports, everything's gotten around. Teams have started making adjustments. And it gets harder. What was working before ain't working right now. So try something different. Do some different things. Pitch to other sides of the plate. There are those numbers before and after the All-Star break. And all those 6 starts were in August.
We're now through 28 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's good pitch. 1-2.
We know he's got good stuff. We know that he's got good pitches. Joe Girardi was very complimentary of him in his last start, where he had a quality start against the Yankees. He's the only one that kept the Braves in a game in that Yankee series and got beat 3-1. 6 innings, just gave up 2 runs. But as Freddie said, you can't pitch the same way to every guy. These guys make adjustments. And I'm talking about good pitchers that learned this early, had to learn this early on too. That is just, you can't pitch to a certain pattern all the time.
I'm sure Paul would like to chime in on this subject as Rendon is the batter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First and second, 1 out for Washington. Rendon bounced out to third his first time up. And that got him on the hand. Rendon hit by a pitch, and that's going to load the bases for Washington. And Paul, another base runner aboard for Whistler here in the second.
You see this fastball in, and Chip, this is the first pitch that I really like because it was on the inside part of the plate. And if you notice the pattern, The Nationals are sitting on fastball away every pitch. AJ usually throwing a fastball away. And even when Whistler has hung a slider, they haven't offered. So it's very apparent for me what they're doing, their game plan. And I agree with Joe when you have to make an adjustment and work on the things that you need to work on to be successful in the big leagues. And there cannot be a better time than right now with the Atlanta Braves.
I'm with you, Paul. I think maybe the best pitch he's made tonight because it was going to be a ball. It was a mistake, but he hit the guy. Now, was he trying to? Obviously not. But it may serve a purpose later in the ball game when he needs to throw a slider away. Some guys will know he has pitched inside.
Absolutely. And if you notice on that pitch, Rendon was diving.
Yes, he was.
And that tells you right there exactly what he's thinking. He's not given up a hit on a slider yet tonight. Again, he's hung some of them. And when he's thrown first pitch slider, even down the middle, and hung them, they haven't offered. So it's apparent everybody's game plan on the bench. And yes, you don't want to hit a guy, but you have to pitch inside, and you do have to move guys' feet and let them know you will get in there. If not, they'll just have to have a feast on everything you throw. And when you make a mistake like he has tonight, you won't get away with anything.
Well, hopefully he can get a ground ball here, Paul, and short circuit this inning. Otherwise, the game could get away from him real quick with this guy coming up.
Bryce Harper walked and scored the first Washington run. Homers, walks, and RBIs, all career highs for the Nationals center fielder. Harper has hit into 10 double plays and takes outside, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes.
Freddie Freeman was just asking the dugout where they wanted him to play for Harper, and they had him move off the line a little bit. A little to Freddie's right.
Zimmerman, Worth, Rendon, the Nationals runners. 3-1 Washington, second inning.
Way. It's 2-0 count. Go in there again. Arnold already up in the second inning.
Harper made him throw a strike, and that obliged him. 2-1 the count.
Harper's had a good year against the Braves. Not just, I mean, he's doing damage against the whole league. 372 against Atlanta, 3 homers.
As Joe said, Bryce Harper, an MVP candidate. Whistler's got to throw him a strike or it's going to cost him a run. 3 balls, 1 strike. And he walked him again. Bases loaded, free pass. Harper's second walk, his first RBI. That brings home Zimmerman. 2 in the first, 2 in the second for the Nationals. They lead 4-1.
Bryce Harper has joined the ranks of some pretty impressive players through baseball history at his age. He's 22 years old, and to have 30 or more homers and 100 or more walks at 22 or younger, he joins Eddie Matthews, Ted Williams, Mel Ott, and Jimmy Fox is the only players in history to do that at age 22 or younger.
Beware of the first pitch with Ryan Zimmerman up there. And AJ blocked that. I thought that was an incredibly mature at bat by Bryce Harper too. 3-1 pitch. He's probably dreaming of a grooved fastball. And
about 2-0. He got a slider right there. He didn't offer.
Took what Whistler gave him, which wasn't much, and lengthens the inning for Zimmerman. Last 4 games, the Nationals' first baseman has been scorching hot.
4-8 over those 4 games. He's got 7 homers and 19 RBIs over his last 10, including 2 homers last night.
25th pitch of the inning, fouled straight back. Fly ball center, and the catch made by Maben. The throw is going to come to shortstop Andrelton Simmons. A line drive sacrifice fly by Zimmerman. That plates Jason Worth. It's 5-1 Washington.
That was an attempt to go in. I give him credit for that. AJ set up inside, and they were trying to run that 2-seamer in on his hands, and they were almost successful. He didn't get the barrel on it. Didn't hit it that hard.
Robinson lined one over Simmons at short for the first 2 runs of the game for the Nationals. He's up to 27 driven in. He's seen a lot of playing time with all these injured teammates in Washington. And Robinson and Michael Taylor have done a nice job. 5 runs, 5 hits for Washington. The Braves have a run, no hits.
First time he faced these guys, he got rocked here. Got beat 7-0. 4 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs. He pitched them against them in his very next start at Turner Field, and he did make some adjustments, and he went 5 1/3 innings of 1 hit shutout ball. Now he walked 5, but he struck out 6, so he bounced back real strong. .278 average combined. Backdoor breaking ball.
Full count now. Rendon and Harper will be running as Robinson, the 8th man to hit in the inning.
And that's one of those secondary pitches I've been talking about in 3-1, 2-0 counts. Good backdoor hook.
And Robinson walks. And that is going to be all for Matt Whistler. An inning and 2/3 in Washington tonight. 5 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. And Sugar Ray Marimon is coming out of the Braves bullpen very early in game 1. Second inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He'll give way to Sugar Ray Marimon.
Just 2 days ago, he had to come in early for Manny Banuelos, and he really did a good job. His first 2 1/3 innings, actually 3 1/3 innings, he was outstanding. Gave up 1 hit and 1 walk, and at one point had retired 7 in a row. Then he got a little tired to start the 7th, and he gave up some runs. But for 3 1/3 in long relief, he did some good work.
Let's see if Marimon can use the Braves' CPI security defense to get Escobar to roll out and end a very long home second inning. Escobar struck out to end the Washington first. Low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Sharply hit and past Oliveira. That's into left field. That's going to score 2 more runs. Washington has 4 2-out runs in the game, and they've batted around in the second inning.
That one was sinking, tailing right back to Escobar. Those runs, of course, belong to Whistler.
Here's Desmond. 7-1 Washington. Boy, has this been a frustrating and heartbreaking theme for the Braves, too. Not only have they fallen behind, Joe, in the early innings, they've fallen behind by big numbers.
Big numbers, and talking to some of the hitters last night after the game against the Marlins. The difficult part is when you fall behind by this kind of number, there's no real strategy involved anymore. There's nothing Freddie Gonzalez can do to try to manufacture a run to get the game tied up. You got to play for big innings to try to get all those runs back.
Good pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big year for Desmond. It's his walk year as well for Washington. He struggled mightily over the first 70-80 games, but he's gotten hot for the Nationals. And he will be struck out for the first time in the game. 10 come to the plate, 5 score. All 7 runs belong to that young man, and it's Washington big early. continue to try to make hay against the New York Mets in the East. But if you look at the schedule on our Home Depot tools from the dugout, the Nationals have the easiest schedule going into the final day of regular season play of anybody else in the league.
It's a matter of how much they take advantage of it, and they certainly have taken care of the Braves so far this year, going 9-3 against Atlanta and winning all the games here.
But they've played themselves into a spot where they're really going to have to do great work against the Mets, obviously. 6 head-to-head with New York, including 3 after this series wraps up. The Nationals, I believe, are a game under 500 against New York this year. And if you just do the math, if the Nationals watch the Mets go 15-14 over their last 29 games, Washington would have to go 23-7 to win the division. And the Nationals begin play tonight 2 games over 500. And that's really their only route to postseason play. The wild card is an 8-game deficit for Washington behind the Chicago Cubs. So Zimmerman, who's been spraying the baseball all over the strike zone, has a 6-run lead. He's got Sugar Ray Marimon leading off the Atlanta third. Markakis and Maben to follow.
And hasn't given up a hit.
That's a second strikeout to go along with 3 walks. And we go back to the top of the order.
You got to feel pretty good about yourself if you don't have it working on a night like this, and you've got 6 runs to work with already. Despite what you probably have been watching tonight from Zimmerman, he's going to be a hot commodity in this offseason if the Nationals don't re-sign him.
Strike 1. The Nats, as you know, went out and got Max Scherzer this offseason to add to Doug Fister, Gio Gonzalez, Steven Strasburg, and Jordan Zimmerman. The man who will pitch here tomorrow night is Tanner Roark. He was a 15-game winner, and they couldn't find a spot for him in their rotation. So if Zimmerman leaves, one would assume that Roark would be first in line to move into that spot, along with Joe Ross, Tyson Ross's brother.
We'll see him Sunday.
It's been impressive. Out of play foul, left side Markakis. It's 0-2. Strasburg will not pitch tomorrow night. Muscle tightness in his upper back. He did throw a bullpen session today. It's not known when he will start again, if they'll just skip his turn or plug him in somewhere else. But the Braves won't see him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the shame of it for Washington, Strasburg has been pitching great since he came back from the DL. Zimmerman flips to Zimmerman. Don't hear that too often. And there's the second out. And here's Steven Strasburg earlier today in the bullpen.
Probably just trying to work some kinks out to see if his back would loosen up.
This vaunted Nationals rotation: Scherzer, Fister, Gio, Strasburg, Zimmerman. Only 5 games over 500 at 44-39 this year. 1 ball, no strikes to Cameron Maben, who hit a rocket shot that Zimmerman deflected to Desmond at short. Tough break. Braves would have had him first and third. Desmond at short. Nice pick. 360 spin and a perfect throw. That was a gorgeous play by a man that had a lot of defensive troubles early.
Well, it makes you wonder how in the world does he make 20+ errors every year. Great play.
As I mentioned earlier, the Mets are off tonight. Washington, if they win their 68th game tonight, would close to within 6 of the division leading New York Mets. Washington has 6 with New York left. The Braves have 6 with New York left. And Wilson Ramos leads off the Nationals' third. 10 men came to the plate in the second against Whistler and Marimo. Andrelton at short, catcher running, plenty of time, and gets his man. There's out number 1. And here is Jordan Zimmerman. One ball, no strikes. And Anthony's. It's an even count. Line over second. Zimmerman has a hit.
He's a good player at Wisconsin. Stevens Point on both sides. He wasn't pitching. He was a good position player.
This is the point I was making earlier. Deficits have been a problem, but the size of the deficits have been even more problematic for the Braves over the last 2.5 weeks.
That includes tonight.
Jason Worth, runner at first. And he takes a strike.
Has been loosening up.
Good off-speed pitch. Oliveira, bad hop, good throw to second. Zimmerman forced out. Worth beats the play at first, and there are 2 out.
This ball came up pretty hard on Hector, but able to spear it. Get the lead runner.
How about Zimmerman? He's not afraid to go in hard at second base.
No, he's a tough cookie.
Yep. And he gets the glad hand for his hard work as Worth is chased back to the first base bag. Anthony Rendon bats. He was hit by a pitch last time up and came around to score. No balls and a strike. Bell tie and a beauty. 0-2.
Well, I like Sugar Ray. The more you see him, the more you like him. He's got a good slider, He's got a changeup that he's still trying to perfect, but he doesn't seem to make mistakes with the changeup. Fastball in the low 90s.
Line drive on an 0-2 pitch.
See, he made a good pitch with it. I think the first pitch of the at bat, and he got a swing and a miss on it. And he went back to it. He and AJ go back to him. Look at the target. The target's down and away. So it wasn't exactly delivered there. It stayed out over the plate. And he was able to make the adjustment after seeing it earlier in the count.
So Sugar Ray Marimon is done. The Braves go ever deeper into the bullpen as the Nationals threaten again in the third.
Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Two on, two out for Washington. They lead 7-1.
People travel quickly around here, don't they?
And unfortunately around the base paths tonight for the Nationals. Here's the news and notes segment for our ball game tonight. The LA Dodgers reportedly have promoted their shortstop Corey Seager, second best prospect overall in the major leagues. Giants had trouble with the Dodgers. They're ever further back in the National League West. How about the Texas Rangers? Cole Hamels has really helped stabilize that club, hasn't he?
And they're hitting. I'm so impressed with the Texas Rangers and the way they have just kind of steadily gotten better as the season went along.
So Andrew McCarrahan is in the ball game, already the third pitcher of the night for the Braves.
Andrew hasn't pitched in 4 days. A little tight after his outing against the Yankees early in that series.
Two balls, no strikes for Bryce Harper. Harper's walked twice, scored twice, and has knocked in a run. His second base on balls came with the bases loaded. That one pops away from AJ, and Harper walks on 4 pitches. There's no shortage of confidence for Bryce Harper. On May 6th said this about his club: we're the team to beat. Everybody knows that. We're going to get hot. Everybody knows that too. Unfortunately for Harper and the Nationals, injuries sidetracked that heat wave he was hoping to see.
He got hot and has stayed hot, but the rest of his teammates have not gotten hot until lately. I'm talking about Rendon, Worth, Zimmerman, and Ramos. And Desmond in there too.
And the question is it going to be too little too late for Washington?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I think they've got something to say about it before this thing's over.
They're the defending champs until someone knocks them off the perch. They are the team to beat. But the math doesn't favor them.
I don't care. That schedule we just showed.
Yep.
Braves, Phillies, Marlins, home and road with the Marlins, home and road with the Braves. Baltimore's playing awful right now.
Right.
To me, it'll boil down to their head-up games with the Mets.
Dribbled foul and out of play by Ryan Zimmerman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, if the baseball gods have their way, maybe the Eastern Division won't be decided until the final weekend. That's when the Washington Nationals have to go to New York for a 3-game season-ending series at Citi Field. The Nationals will be in Atlanta right before that final set. One ball, 2 strikes. Worth, Rendon, and Harper, the Nationals base runners.
Likes the ball down, and he likes the ball out over the plate.
Line drive right field, base hit. That's going to score 2 more runs for Washington. It's 9-1.
Hot hitter stays hot. He's got 4 RBIs tonight. Out away from him. That pitch was up and out away from him, and he takes it the other way. He's squaring up everything, making up for a lot of lost time.
So close the book on Marimon. 2 runs in an inning plus. And now Clint Robinson with 2 RBIs already. And the Nationals in a rout, lead by 8.
Make it 3 RBIs for Ryan Zimmerman tonight.
That's 70 for the year. 22 RBIs in his last 11 games. There's a strike with the knees. It's even for Clint Robinson.
It's funny, somebody asked Zimmerman about the way he was swinging the bat on that brief road trip to St. Louis, and he said, yeah, not bad for a defensive specialist.
Fouled away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm happy for him that he's finally found a position that doesn't require him to make those long throws across the diamond. It was painful to watch him throw the ball at third base and all the shoulder issues that he had. But he's always been able to hit. If the feet cooperate, he figures to have a big final month. Another base hit to left. That'll bring home Bryce Harper. It's 10-1 Washington. Robinson with a 3 RBI night. 7 of their 10 runs have come with 2 outs.
Let's see if he's diving in on this pitch. Chip. No, he's pretty much upright, just waiting and comfortable. Way too comfortable.
Third time this year the Nationals have scored 10 or more runs against the Braves. And that one's out of play by Escobar. The Nationals' high for runs in a game is 16. They have 10, and they're not through hitting in the 3rd inning tonight. Lined off Freeman's glove. McKirahan didn't break toward the bag, and all hands are safe.
Great effort by Freddie. McKirahan was a spectator, and he'll get to spectate from the dugout now.
McKirahan did not retire a hitter. He gave up 3 hits, a walk, and a run so far. The men aboard belong to him, and the Braves go deeper into the pen.
Is presented by Georgia Power and Zaxby's.
Let's not talk about the scores. The Nationals continue to bat here in the 3rd inning. Now it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag SouthDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 3rd pitcher of the inning is Ryan Kelly.
Ryan Kelly got called up a couple of days ago. He's already been in. This will be his 3rd game. Both of his previous games were against Miami, a 1/3 of an inning in his first outing, and then on the 1st, which was Tuesday, an inning, 2 hits, a run, a strikeout, and that run came on a homer.
Desmond has doubled, scored, and struck out. He's up for the 3rd time. It's the 3rd inning. He's the 7th place hitter. Washington 10 runs on 11 hits. And Kelly is strike. And Desmond chased and didn't get it. 9 more come to the plate for Washington. 3 of them score. We head to the 4th. Post-game concert brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. Get your tickets now online at braves.com/concerts.
I'm anxious to hear him. I know he's a big star, rising star, great voice. That'll be a great concert.
See what Freddie Freeman can do as he starts the Braves 4th. He's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
Hits in 24 of the last 25 games against the Nationals. He drives Steve McCaddy, the pitching coach for the Nationals, crazy. They pitch him in, out, up, down. Can't get him out.
That was one of the lighter moments we had this year. It's always nice to go down and talk to the other team before the ball game. And Steve McCaddy's around the cage, and he looked at us the last time we were here and said, "Freeman's not playing, huh?" This big ear-to-ear grin on his face. And Freddie rips one toward left, and nice running catch by Robinson to Robin for out number 1. On a night where Zimmerman doesn't have his A stuff, it would appear, he's got a 9-run lead.
Yeah, that's not a good sign when your number 3 hitter just had his 2nd at bat and their number 7 hitter has already had 3 at bats.
Not good.
Not a good sign.
No. One of those turning points in the game came early for Atlanta. 2 on, 1 out. A.J. Przinsky hit a soft pop up to second. Markakis wandered too far off the bag and was easily doubled up. 2-0 the count.
And through all this, it's 10-1. Nationals have 11 hits, and the Braves don't have one yet.
No.
I mean, he hasn't had his best stuff. There we go. I just had to talk about it.
So A.J. takes care of the no-hit bid. And there's a start with 1 out in the 4th inning. Here's Swisher.
I think he was trying to take a little off on that pitch.
Swisher scored the lone Braves run back in the 2nd. He earned the 3rd walk. Zimmerman handed out, took 2nd on a balk, took 3rd on a wild pitch, and Oliveira brought him home with a ground out. And a strike. It's 0-1.
Going back to something you talked about earlier, Chip, with respect to the Braves offense, we know that they've been challenged this year to score runs. It's been difficult for a large part of the season. But with this lineup, with these guys in there tonight, that, as I said, it's a veteran lineup. If you fall behind early, 1-0, 2-0, as they did, then you get back 2-1, you figure out ways to tie it up. You figure out ways to scrap out some more runs.
Your manager has some toys to play with.
Yeah, he can bunt, he can hit and run. But when it's 7-1 after 2 and 10-1 after 3, it takes all that away, and you just got to go up there and start hacking away. And that's to the benefit of the pitcher.
Which is what Swisher did there. Didn't get a breaking ball. He struck out. 2 outs. And that's 3 strikeouts for the Washington right-hander. And Jace Peterson digs in. He was the first man Zimmerman struck out. Looped foul down the third base line. That's into the seats. A very poor fielding crowd tries to make the play. Hang on, Sloopy. It'll help. No balls and a strike. And that's bounced into the Washington dugout. It's 0-2. Broken bat roller to first, and Zimmerman gets there, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, a man left.
Chip has been pitching inside. I want to show you just as an example. Now, Kevin Brown's an outstanding pitcher. He's not some 22-year-old rookie at this point. 1996 with Florida, 17-11, a 1.89 ERA, 33 walks against 159 strikeouts, and he led the league in hit batsmen. So some of that success was from the intimidation he had, the snarl he had, and the fact that he just might plunk you with a pitch or two. And Paul, I got to think that that had a lot of weight in terms of some of his success that year.
Absolutely. Pitching inside, I believe there's no substitute for it. I have hit off Kevin Brown, and yes, I know I'm just a pitcher, but I've hit off Maddox, the big unit, all those guys. Kevin Brown was the most uncomfortable at bat I've ever had because he would twist his body, and you knew that he would come inside to everybody, including pitchers. Therefore, you were just very uncomfortable.
I love that term too, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't care. You know, if he hit you. He didn't care. He hit 14, I think, the next year and led the league. And I got to credit Dave O'Brien, the beat writer for the Braves from the AJC, who was listening to our broadcast yesterday and reminded us of that kind of year from Kevin Brown and how he worked. Again, I say he was a veteran. He had been around and was successful. He knew how to pitch, but that was part of what made him successful, was that work inside.
Let me ask the two of you who played in the major leagues. I certainly didn't, but it seems that the art of pitching inside has become a lost art. Why is that the case? Do you guys have a theory from a hitter or pitcher's perspective as to why so many young pitchers aren't pitching inside with purpose? Paul?
Well, I mean, I have a theory. It's just a theory. I think something that's changed the game is when they put the radar gun score up on the scoreboard. They make decisions on how hard people throw, and instead of guys coming out of the pen saying,
base hit by Ramos.
Instead of guys coming out of the pen saying, is my ball moving? They're saying, how hard am I throwing? And when you see people make decisions to call guys up on how hard you throw, I think that has changed the game. When you pitch inside, it is not a how hard can I throw this ball inside pitch, because the harder you try to throw it, the harder it is to hit your spot. But if you relax, take a deep breath, and just give them a good fastball on the inside part of the plate with purpose, it is still, as Joe and I have talked about, very, very effective, even if it's not a strike.
Greg Maddux pitched inside.
That's what I was going to ask you.
And as John Smoltz said to us, Greg could have thrown harder, but it wouldn't have been better. So his location, his movement, all those things contributed to greatness, and he was one of those guys that knew how to pitch inside effectively.
Zimmerman pops one up toward left center. Maven's going to take over and make the play. There's the first out.
Bertie, there's also that term of conveniently wild in the zone. You know, where a guy, all of a sudden you're a little loose in the batter's box because you've already seen a few pitches during the game where it didn't appear that he knew where the ball was going, and that's conveniently wild and effective.
Right, and my career changed. I wasn't a Hall of Famer, but I survived for a very long time on below average stuff pitching inside. It was very important to me. The thought is, hey, if I don't throw 95, I need to stay away because I might get hurt. But the fact is, you need to pitch in even more, because guys will start to dive because they don't fear getting hit with 87 or 88 miles an hour. So you still have to make guys uncomfortable when they get in that batter's box.
So where does this start? Where's the genesis of this, if you want to call it, problem in our sport? Is it youth baseball? Is it high school baseball, college baseball, aluminum bats? Do you buy into that? Or
No. It's not that early. Kids can't. They don't have enough command to do that. But I think the higher you go on the ladder, I would say certainly by college, if not maybe your senior year in high school, it becomes a mentality to me. Do you agree with that, Paul? That it becomes a mental toughness that I've got to take away that part of the plate.
Yes, I do agree. It starts early, and then even when you go into AA, AAA in the big leagues, when you get in your bullpen, you have to practice throwing the ball inside. If you struggle with doing so, you have to have your bullpen coach, some guy off the bench that's a pinch hitter that hasn't seen pitches a lot, come down while you're warming up, stand in. And if you're really struggling with it, 60 to 70% of your bullpen needs to be fastballs inside, so that when you get in the game, your first couple pitches in, you're very comfortable about sticking it in there and making sure you don't miss.
I like that a lot, Paul. Having a hitter stand there certainly gives you a better perspective on where your ball is moving and relative to the hitter, and not necessarily to the plate.
Kelly gets Worth to pop out to first, and Anthony Rendon is up. Rendon scored a couple of runs, has a single that came on an 0-2 pitch in the third inning.
Paul, you were talking about how you had a very good career, and you're saying you did it with, below average stuff. Well, that's not true. You had good stuff, but was there some point in your career where you said, you know what, I'm getting my brains beat out here, I got to do something different, that led you to that?
Yes, I didn't know myself, and I think that's a big part as a hitter and as a pitcher, to know your brand, know yourself. You throw strikes, you throw backwards, you're deceptive, then use those things that you do well and don't try to be somebody else. I had very good numbers when I first came up to the big leagues, but I didn't know why. I failed. I learned from it. It even helped sitting on the bench in the bullpen watching the Braves and watch Greg Maddux win 4 Cy Youngs in a row. And the hardest throw on our gun that he hit, according to Jim Guadagno, was 86. So when I saw people be effective, it meant a lot.
Good points, Paul. We head to the 5th. For our AT&T Uverse trivia question, Bryce Harper's hitting .331 this year. Who was the last Washington National to finish the year batting above .320 with a minimum of 450 at-bats? So that's Washington National, not Montreal Expo, but Washington National.
Soriano or Christian Guzman. These are 2 names that come to mind right away, and they were like almost original Washington.
Yeah, those are
Soriano, I think, at 40 homers 1 year over at the old ballpark.
Yeah, I think that might be the right answer. We'll think about it for a while as Hector Olivera goes to work and pops it up right side. Zimmerman, long run, gets there, and Hector's retired, 1 out. Always exciting to see the president's race here in Washington. And it was a crowded field.
Yeah, they got a new guy.
Yeah. Silent Cal. Calvin Coolidge is the new president in the president's race.
He's got a nice look. He's kind of got a St. Louis Ram haircut. Got a little graying at the temples.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? That's a good point. First pitch swing. Rendon surrounds and throws off stride. Got Simmons, 2 out. And here is the exciting president's race. You got Bill Taft. You've got Calvin Coolidge.
Oh, man. Abe pulled somebody down with him.
It was either Thomas or George. Not sure who.
Oh, Calvin.
All that running's made Bill Taft lose a little weight here in Washington.
Yes, he has.
And down the stretch they come. It was Calvin Coolidge, 30th president of the United States. Hence the number. As Daniel Castro pinch hits and pops it up. I don't know if Teddy Roosevelt's won any races this year. I know he won one the last day of the season a couple years ago. And all was right with the world for the Washingtonians.
Where's Calvin from?
I don't know. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Like Calvin, I'm going to be silent.
Okay.
As Castro digs in with 2 outs and check the swing. No, he didn't. They ring him up. And that brings the inning to a very quick close. We are through 4.5. All Washington, 10-1 your score. Become a 2016 A-List member today and get exclusive benefits for your unique needs. SunTrust Park seating priority is still being given to current A-List members, so become a member today and get closer to securing your seats for SunTrust Park in 2017. Go to Braves.com/A-List and join the A-List today. Bottom of the 5th inning, Ross Detweiler is on to pitch for the Braves. 5th inning, he's the 5th pitcher for Atlanta.
Ross's first work since the Yankees series. Gave up runs in 2 outings against the Yankees. Hasn't pitched since. But having the pitcher spot pinch hit for here in the top half of the inning means Ross may be able to work a couple of 3 innings.
Bryce Harper, the hitter. He has gotten very little to swing at. He has walked 3 times. He scored 3 times.
He's only had 1 pitch, I believe, thrown in the strike zone. It's on a 2-0 breaking pitch from Whistler. Detweiler's a former Nat. Started his career with them.
There's a strike. Harper has had a 4-walk game that occurred earlier this year. He's ahead 3-1 for Detweiler. Now it's full count.
A good pitch to hit there.
For the second time this year, Harper has a 4-walk game. His previous pass-filled game came against the Rockies. Here's Zimmerman. He's 2 for 2. A run, 3 RBIs. And his body of work this past week are Zaxby's indescribably good play.
529 average with damage. Double, a single, and a sacrifice fly tonight.
And he is on everything. I mean, every pitch he's swung at has been barreled up. Even the foul balls are going straight back.
His timing is on fire. That's what he's got going for him. He's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand like any hot hitter that's got his ability. See where he stands. He stands way off the plate. High leg kick. Dives in and wants the ball away from him. As I said earlier, he likes the ball down and out over the plate. He's inviting you to pitch him away.
Foul back.
AJ's trying to get the ball in on him. That sacrifice fly he hit in the second inning was on a pitch that tied him up a little bit, and he just kind of fought it off into center.
Down the line, and that stays fair. Harper's going to get green lighted. Here he comes. Throw to the plate is going to be late. Might be looking at the player of the week in the National League in Ryan Zimmerman. 4 more RBIs tonight. Another walk turns into another Washington run.
This was a big breaking ball that stayed up and was trying to come in. But it gave him a chance to extend his arms because it was up and out over the plate. Bryce Harper, among the many things he can do well, is run. Able to get that hand right across the plate ahead of the tag. And what a luxury right now for Ryan Zimmerman. Got 71 RBIs now. He might wind up with 90, if not more, with the way Harper's getting on base and the way he's swinging the bat.
Clint Robinson has a 3 RBI night. 11 runs on 13 hits for the Nationals, and it's quickly 0-2. Robinson stays alive. Told you he's an Alabama boy. Went to Northview High School in Dothan and then Troy University. Left Troy as the school's all-time leader in hits, runs, and total bases. Signed as a minor league free agent out of the Dodgers system. And he just took strike 3. First out for Detweiler. And Escobar will hit.
He's probably good friends with Dave Meckley.
Does he? So 1 on, 1 in, 1 out. And Escobar 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Ripped back out of play. 5 pitchers have worked in the game for Atlanta tonight. Only Ryan Kelly has escaped unscored upon to this point. Hitting in a third of 1 hit, scoreless ball. Three more with the Nationals starting tomorrow night. Julio Teheran will get the ball for the Braves in game 2.
Braves need a good outing from him. Need a good outing the following night from Shelby Miller. Need to get some back-to-back good action going.
And again, this is the kind of game where you hope to do something in the second half of the ball game tonight. If you don't, you flush it and start again tomorrow. And really, the goal of the Braves is they can win 2 of these games. That would put a serious crimp in Washington's playoff aspirations. They have to win a lot of games to catch the Mets. And I'm sure they're banking on a big series against the Braves, looking at the records and how both are playing.
You bet. And we've gotten off to a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Giving them some confidence and thinking about that.
3 balls at a strike. Another walk.
Let me ask you a question.
No, you can't defend them. Is that the question? Can you defend walks? No.
Yeah, in a way. Paul, I got something for you here. And I don't mean to pick on Ross Detweiler here, but he's the guy that happens to be on the mound at the moment. Came in with an ERA of 6.23. Walked Harper. I get it. Yeah, I understand. Hangs a curveball, double, run in, strikes out Robinson. But with an ERA already of 6, you've already given up a run. How can you not be really challenging these hitters? Am I way off there, Paul?
No, I would agree with you. It's not easy to hit. It's not easy to pitch. No. You and I both know that.
Right.
But if you're unable to throw the ball in the outside corner of the first pitch and you don't want to fall behind, the difference between 2 and 1, the hitters hit 340. 1 and 2, they hit around 170. So that's a huge difference. So, hey, 2 of my first 3 have got to be strikes, and the odds go in my favor. And if I don't have Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz, pick your guy, Bob Tewksbury, control on the outside corner of that first pitch, then you don't get greedy and you shoot for a third, or you may even throw the ball down the middle, but you keep it at the knees. That way you have a little bit more room for error and you can still get ahead of the hitter. I like that approach rather than trying to be perfect and then having to come in 3-1 or 2-0 in a hitter's count where the frame of mind and the confidence of the hitter is up, and now you can't afford to be perfect. You have to throw a strike or you're going to keep walking guys. That's just my thoughts.
And the Braves need him to go a couple of 3 innings. He's out there to try to save what's left of the bullpen tonight, and he's already thrown 25 pitches and walked a couple of guys. I think that's my point. Be more aggressive. Your ERA is already what it is. Get after it.
Yes, being more aggressive. And talking to Freddie Gonzalez earlier, he said the one thing he is looking for is leadership and someone to stand out. He said these are tough times in September. I don't want to say the dog days, but some of these games are very, very hard, and you have to keep energy up. There's a lot of time to shine right here, to stand out, to do things differently, to be a leader, whether you come in from the pen, you're at the plate, in the field. And Freddie's looking for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. Who's going to step up? It'll carry over well into next spring and spring training if you're able to do that as a player or pitcher in September.
Braves have walked 7 Nationals and hit 1. That's along with 13 hits. One ball, 2 strikes for Wilson Ramos. Has already extended his hitting streak to 11 games. This guy's hit the Braves hard this year too. 16 for 43 and 6 RBIs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the air to right. Markakis will get there and make the catch. Tag, throw to the plate is eluded. A.J. Pierzynski. It's sacrifice fly that scores Ryan Zimmerman. Give Ramos his second RBI of the game. It's now 12-1 Washington, and 2 are out.
That probably scared Matt Williams to death, the way Zimmerman came in there and rolled. Stuck his foot in the ground, and the home plate umpire Fagan said that he must have touched the plate somehow because he gave a safe sign after he rolled by.
Here's Zimmerman. First and second, 2 outs. Didn't know that Wisconsin Stevens Point had obviously terrific baseball program. If it has a man like Jordan Zimmerman, they had a great basketball program. Terry Porter, the old NBA guard, came from that school. And Zimmerman behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Braves will have the top of the order coming up in the 6th. They've been out hit 13-1. They've been outscored 12-1.
Some states like Wisconsin, and I don't know if they're one, their high school baseball season is in the fall because their spring is so short,
right,
weather-wise, that they can't get good enough climate to play, so they play their season, championship season, in the fall.
And the inning is over. 2 more across for the Nationals. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts for Ross Detweiler.
Great stuff, low price every day.
With Joe Simpson and Paul Bird, the rest of our great Fox Sports crew. Chip Carey, welcome back to Washington. All Nats. Bryce Harper, 4 walks, 4 runs tonight. And he's our AT&T Universe trivia question. He's hitting .331 this year. Who's the last National to finish a year hitting above .320? Minimum 450 at bats.
I'm going to go with Christian Guzman.
I'll go with Soriano just to spread it around, see if either one of us is right. And, of course, we're wrong. Dimitri Young.
Huh.
I sure hope he was hitting .320.1. Otherwise, that is a deceptive question. It said above.
Yes, misleading.
320, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, it was .320121. So technically, he was above 320.
Just checking.
Zimmerman back to work in the 6th. Top of the order for the Braves. And Nick Markakis is the batter. Strike one. Nick 0 for 1 with a walk. He's done great work against another one of the Beltway ball clubs in the major leagues that came into play tonight with 16 hits and 48 tries against Washington pitching. One ball, 2 strikes. Even with the big lead, Zimmerman's going to go, I would think, 6, maybe 7 tonight. Give that beleaguered Washington bullpen a night off. Bullpen that was used an awful lot in St. Louis. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Nick didn't get that. Something off speed earns Zimmerman his 5th strikeout.
Good breaking ball. Downer.
Cameron Maybin 0 for 2.
29 years old. He'll be 30 next year, shortly after the season begins. 6'2", 225. He's already had Tommy John surgery. That was back in 2011. And the fact that he has been a workhorse for these guys for the last 3+ years, I think, will get everybody's attention.
Yeah, it was his Tommy John surgery and subsequent recovery that was the roadmap for how the Nationals handled Steven Strasburg. Certainly Strasburg's removal from the rotation on an innings limit when they were cruising to postseason play raised a lot of eyebrows around the game, but they did the exact same thing to Jordan Zimmerman the year before,
which didn't draw as many headlines because they weren't in contention.
Correct.
See, there was an effective pitch, might have been accidental, to Cameron that had him spinning out of the way. He's certainly not trying to hit anybody with a 12-1 lead, but just that effectively wild type pitch.
Well, Joe, I love what you talked about that pitching side from Zimmerman. If I'm one of these young Atlanta Braves pitcher and I'm watching him tonight, he's given up 1 hit, but he's walked a few people and he's kind of struggled, but he's showed that he can compete without his best stuff or best location. And so if you notice that first pitch to Maybin, who Maybin's not going to be aggressive, they're down 12-1, nobody on. First pitch is a fastball right down the middle. Then he goes for the outside corner. Then he scoots Maybin back off the plate, and then he goes back away. So for me as a former pitcher, I've enjoyed watching him pitch, as you indicated earlier, without his best stuff.
And Maybin with a base hit. That's the 2nd of the night for Atlanta.
You know what I love hearing from Paul? He recited every one of those pitches. He's not sitting behind home plate. He's sitting down at the end of the Braves dugout on the third base side. But he's watching and he's seeing how he's setting up the hitters, and you can only hope that those young guys in Braves uniforms are doing the same and observing, watching, and absorbing the same thing that Paul is.
1 on, 1 out for Freddie Freeman. He's flied out and walked. And outside, ball 1.
Freddie got robbed his last time up. Line shot to left center. There's another one.
Tonight is game number 91 for Freddie Freeman. It's game number 134 for the Braves. Three balls, no strikes. Zimmerman knows how Freeman has tormented Nationals pitching. One in for a strike, 3-1. One-out walk, the fourth issued by Zimmerman. I believe that ties his season high.
Right.
Let's see if that gets the Nationals bullpen working. They're stirring around down there in right. A.J. Pierzynski, the batter. He has one of the two Atlanta hits. Sammy Solis begins to loosen for Washington as this one's grounded to second. There's one, plenty of time, double play, and that will send us to the bottom of the sixth inning. The Braves threaten, can't break through. It was all Washington early and often. Too many Zimmermans and too many walks from Atlanta tonight.
Too many W's on those hats, too. And they have a couple of guys in their lineup that are swinging the bats real well. Zimmerman, the hottest of the bunch, and he continued that tonight. Jordan Zimmerman, not himself tonight, but you know what? He's only given up 2 hits while walking 4, and he struck out 6. So like Paul said, he has, without his best stuff, still pitched well with a huge lead.
So the Braves make a couple of changes. Ryan LaVarnway has checked in. He'll catch and bat 9th on the lineup card. New pitcher for the Braves.
Danny Barawa made his debut the other night against Miami and looked great. 2 innings, no hits, runs, or walks, and struck out 4. Going hard with a good slider.
First man he'll face is Tyler Moore, who bats for Jason Worth.
He's just activated.
That's taken low, ball 2. Tyler Moore drafted as a first baseman. Tony Tarasco is teaching him how to play the outfield. 4 homers, 22 RBIs this year. This one popped straight up. And that is into the expensive seats behind the plate. 2-1 your count. Moore has 1 hit in 13 at bats against the Braves this year. Fouled away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good crowd here tonight. Many have headed for the subway. Another night game coming your way here tomorrow. Moore, another kid from Braves country, went to Mississippi State. Went to high school at Northwest Rankin High School in Mississippi. Graduated in 2005. That's ripped toward the gap. That'll one-hop the fence.
Nice return for him from the disabled list.
Not a single Braves relief pitcher has gotten the first man out, with the exception of not Andrew McCurry, it was Ryan Kelly.
Two-seamer, he tried to run in on it. Maybe he was trying to get it to sink down and in, but it didn't move.
Here's Rendon, and that's off the plate. Washington has 14 hits, 5 of them doubles. Anthony Rendon is quite a player. Last year managed 153 games, hit 21 homers, scored 111 runs, but has not been able to stay healthy this year.
First round pick, right?
Yeah, 6th overall in 2011. Just think about that. They got Harper first, and in 2010 they had the Strasburg-Storen draft where they had the 1st and 10th pick. They had Harper, and they have this kid.
And I think the Braves, if I'm not mistaken, drafted him out of high school.
They did.
And couldn't come to terms with him, and he went to Rice.
A check on the Harper stat, fouled away. Harper #1 overall in 2010. Strasburg year before, correct? 2009.
Yes.
And then Drew Storen, the 10th pick in that draft too. So the benefit of being bad is getting to pick very high and getting good players.
It's taken them 5 years for that to come to fruition, but it's paying off.
Another walk.
He's up to that.
I've got 8.
Yep.
So the night's over for Bryce Harper. Matt Den Decker is going to hit. This really works out perfectly for the Nationals. Again, they played in St. Louis last night at the long flight back home. Lost an hour in travel. Had a long game last night. Got to the ballpark with their baggage around 4:30 this morning. As Den Decker skies one toward left, that's playable for the first out. So a big lead for Washington. Matt Williams can get a lot of his regulars out of the game, get some at bats for his extra men, and get everybody rested up for a big game tomorrow.
Yeah, and there must be something to this no batting practice on the field deal. Remember how well that was working for the Cubs against the Braves for American Legion Week under Joe Madden. They had a great series against Atlanta, and no batting practice today for the Nationals until the game started.
Danny Espinosa is going to pitch hit. 2 on, 1 out. Espinosa in for Zimmerman. So we'll have a whole host of defensive changes when we get to the 7th inning. I think it'll be an interesting story to follow with Washington as to how Espinosa fits into their plans going forward. They have Trey Turner, who was a big prospect of the San Diego Padres. It was an open secret that Turner was going to be traded to Washington, and came here, I guess, mid-season or thereabouts. It was less than a year following his draft selection by the Padres when he came over in trade. He's here, he's activated, he's with the big league club. He's a shortstop. So is Espinosa. They've got Rendon, they've got Escobar, they have Ryan Zimmerman. A lot of able bodies for the Nationals infield.
Yeah, just some insurance though. If Desmond walks as a free agent at the end of the year, they got Turner, they got Espinosa who could step in.
And I guess if Escobar doesn't come back, that's another option too. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Espinosa. 12 homers for him, a .244 average. Bouncing ball, that's through for a base hit. Washington will play it station to station. Espinosa with an opposite field single. And the Nationals have loaded the bases again. Fifth time up for Robinson. We're in the 6th. One ball, no strikes. Milwaukee's beating up on the Pirates again. It's 5-1. Boy, Pittsburgh just can't win at Miller Park. That is a house of horrors for the Pittsburgh ball club. As good as the Pirates are, they are 19 wins and 64 losses all time at Miller Park.
Nice.
They've been swept there 16 times.
Is that right?
And they're losing tonight. The game started by Francisco Liriano. That's news too. Fly ball to left. Swisher's got it. Sets up. Runner third tags. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's on target. It eludes LaVarnway. And all hands are safe. A 4 RBI night for Robinson on a sacrifice fly. He brings home Tyler Moore. Rendon tags and moves to third. Espinosa to second on the throw. And it's 13-1.
This wasn't very deep. In an effort by LaVarnway to keep him off the plate. Unsuccessful because he didn't have the baseball. But what's interesting is they're sending guys, even with a 12-1 lead, they're sending guys on shallow sacrifice flies at the risk of, as I keep saying, you know, you got a big lead, you don't want anybody hurt. They don't seem to mind. They're just trying to run it up.
So we'll see what the Braves do about that as Escobar takes the ball inside. 1-0. Pirates have won 11 consecutive games started by Liriano. They're losing 5-1 tonight. The Giants are in Colorado, fresh off their series loss to the Dodgers. That's tough duty. The Giants have to go to Coors Field and play. And the Rockies have ambushed them for 4 in the first off Ryan Vogelsong. Two balls, no strikes.
Detroit and Kansas City are kind of starting out like this game did. They're in the bottom of the second. It's already 6-3 Kansas City. Johnny Gomes broke in a big way last night. He's first at bat in Kansas City at a double over the center fielder's head. 1 for 2.
That caught a corner, full count. Haven't heard if any of the other Royals have contracted the chicken pox. Full count pitch for Escobar. And he lines one into left field. That's a base hit. 1 run scores. Ball got away from Swisher, but Trent Jewett had the stop sign up for Espinosa. No further damage. Excuse me, Bob Henley's the third base coach. My mistake. And Espinosa at third. Escobar with a 3 RBI night. And another long inning for Braves relief pitcher. (14-1). Nationals have scored 86 runs against the Braves in 13 games. 14 of them tonight. Slow roller. And Oliveira makes a strong throw to third, and that will retire the side. 2 more runs, 3 more hits, 1 more walk, and we go to the 7th. We'll get to those changes for you in a moment. Let's take a look at the playoff picture As things stand now in the National League, we've talked a lot about the Mets and the Nationals. A lot of games head-to-head between these two teams and a month of baseball left. In the Central, the Cardinals by 6 over the Pirates, Cubs 10.5 out, and out west, the Dodgers with a big series over the Giants have a 6.5 game lead.
Yeah, that series with the Giants really padded the lead for LA, and while I wouldn't say that they're playing their best baseball of the year, they are getting their best baseball of the year from two guys, Greinke and Kershaw. Kershaw has been on fire.
15 strikeouts for Kershaw in his start against the Giants. He's done something in his last 2 starts that even the great Sandy Koufax never did. That strike out 14 or more hitters in 2 consecutive games. And he's now 15-7 lifetime against the Giants. As Sammy Solis is on to pitch against Nick Swisher here in the 7th. And he cracks one down the left field line, but it's curling foul and out of play. Here are the defensive changes behind Solis in the Washington 7th. Danny Espinosa's in left. Den Decker is in center. Robinson in right. Trey Turner is the shortstop. Tyler Moore at first. Rendon, Escobar, and Ramos the only defensive holdovers right now. Kind of a spring training game here on September the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's in there, 1-2. Solis is the highest rated left-hander in the Washington system, according to their press department, and earned his first career win against the Braves back in May. Strike 3, good pitch inside corner, froze Swisher, 1 out. Zimmerman was able to cruise tonight, 6 innings of 2-hit ball.
I think the fact that he hit the target helped him get the call.
One ball, no strikes. That's headed for the crowd and out of play off the bat of Jace Peterson.
And it wasn't just the position players that get an early exit, but thanks to the lead, they can get Zimmerman out after 87 pitches, I think it was.
Popped up, a lot of foul ground. Will it stay in play for Escobar? He pulled up short of the wall.
He had a collision in the wall, against the wall, not too long ago and hurt his neck, remember? And I'm sure that was in the back of his mind with a 13-run lead. He ran into the wall and then hit a fan, and it really snapped his neck. And he's not going to take any chances on that.
Look out. This guy has easy gas, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was 95.
Ninth pitch coming up for Peterson. And it was a beauty. 2 out. And Olivera bats. He's 0 for 2 and has the lone Brave RBI.
It's a hard curveball. Looked like a good pitch.
That's foul past Terry Pendleton, out of play. Strike one for Hector Olivera, who's made a couple of good plays at third tonight and has his third big league RBI. Inning over. He just struck out the side, and we head to the 7th inning stretch. Ryan Zimmerman's at it again. He earns our Toyota Key Plays of the game.
Just missed that home run his first time up. Solid single. Had a sacrifice fly in between those hits and then ripped a double down the left field line. Not a bad night at all. 3 for 3, sacrifice fly, 4 RBIs on the night.
This one got out of hand early. Matt Whistler started, gave up 7 runs, 5 hits in an inning and 2/3. Sugar Ray Marimon came on and pitched an inning plus. He gave up 2 runs. McCarrahan a run. Detweiler a run. Barawa 2 runs. And now Peter Moylan is on for the 10th time. As Washington comes up in the home 7th. 3 changes for the Braves. You see Peter Moylan. Adonis Garcia's moved to left. Nick Swisher's moved to first. Freddie Freeman is out of the game for the rest of the way. We'll tell you where they hit once we catch up breath here. Wilson Ramos leads off. And that's fouled away. Strike one.
Of all of Peter's outings so far, only 2 have involved a full inning. The rest partial innings. He also has some history here in this ballpark. First ball game ever played here. He was the pitcher of record, took the loss, gave up a walk-off home run to Ryan Zimmerman to deep left center.
And a swing and a miss gets Ramos. You saw that scoreboard change. Last time the Braves were here, Michael Kahn was wearing number 58. They just changed it because they heard it was Peter Moylan. So great camera work to catch that. And Moylan does something that's been problematic for the relief corps tonight. He retires the first batter he sees. And here's Trey Turner. I'm told this kid can really run. Let's see. Ground ball slowly hit towards second. And that's off Swisher's glove. I was talking to FP Santangelo, one of the Nationals TV announcers. They had Trey Turner timed at 3:55, 3.55 for the plate to first base.
On the right side.
On the right side.
That's impressive. Off the plate, taken off. Not sure where that throw hit Nick. It looked like a good throw from Jace. He just missed it.
And that's a base hit. That's his first big league hit.
I think I'd like to see that again to see if he was going to beat that out. Otherwise, that's a gift.
You don't figure him to be running. That would be a breach of protocol with a big lead.
He's going to be out. Granted, that was a tough play for Jace, but the throw was there to get him. So it was a gift.
Mentioned Turner was with the Padres. There was a big 3-team deal between Washington, the Rays, and the Padres. He was acquired June 14th. The trade was made between those 3 teams back in December. But because Turner had not been in the Padres organization 1 full year, they couldn't officially trade him. He was the player to be named later in a deal that since Steven Souza. And that might have been the Will Myers deal. I think that was all part of it.
Right.
And Turner was the man that came back to Washington. As this ball smoked out to short. Jace will turn it. And Tyler Moore is doubled up. And Peter Moylan gets a ground ball and a double play. We go to the 8th. September 10th when the Braves take on the Mets. The first 20,000 fans at Turner Field get a bobblehead featuring the young Braves right-hander, presented by Grady Hospital. Get your tickets today. Go to Braves.com/tickets. And Julio is pitching here tomorrow night.
To make 2 starts against the Nationals this year, no decisions. And he's given up some runs to them. 9 earned in 10 2/3. But 3-2 lifetime against him in 10 starts. Tanner Roark will pitch for the Nationals. And while he's been back and forth in and out of their rotation, his numbers, he's 4-4 on the year, but he's 3-1 as a starter.
Line to right. And there's the first out. Robinson makes the play, 1 out. And Roark, if memory serves, has always given the Braves all they can handle.
Well, in the rotation is where he did his best work last year. He said he's a 15-game winner. It's hard to imagine any other team in baseball not having a 15-game winner in the rotation the following year, but the Nationals didn't have room for him.
Here's the Piston, Ryan Lavarnway, his first at bat tonight. And a little late, strike 1. That's low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Is it 6-6 Detroit, Kansas City, or is it 8-6? Can't see. We're so high up in the.
I think it's 6-6
in the 3rd inning in Kansas City tonight.
Pirates are making a game of it at Milwaukee. 4-3. And, you know, the Giants, you mentioned going to Colorado. It's going to be hard for them to get their hats on right after getting swept by the Dodgers, to go to Colorado and try to regroup. They're already down 4-0.
Well, they just got 2 back on a Ryan Vogelsong homer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. So it's 4-2 in Denver. Solis looking impressive. 4 strikeouts among the first 5 Braves hitters he's faced, and now Markakis the batter.
Yeah, 3 of them looking.
One run, 2 hits. That's it for Atlanta tonight. That's another troubling trend. We have talked a lot about the Braves' pitching struggles, the youth in rotation, the youth in the bullpen. Let's be fair, too. The offense hasn't exactly reminded you of the 27 Yankees. If this score holds, the Braves will have scored 1 run or less 17 times since the All-Star break. They've got a run on 2 hits tonight, and they're done in the 8th. 17 hits will have all the Nationals fans' tongues wagging as they're romping in game 1 of our 4-game series at Nationals Park. College students, don't forget every Thursday home game is college night. The next one's coming up on September 10th. That's Julio Teheran bobblehead night. Tickets are $20. You get $10 of added value included, and you get to sit in the new college section after the game. You can run the bases too. Don't miss out on these special nights at Turner Field. Space is limited. Go to Braves.com/college now.
That was a good-looking golden retriever, wasn't it?
Beautiful. As Matt Marksberry is in for the Braves.
7th guy out of the bullpen to work tonight.
I was going to say, you're in the 8th inning and you're on your 8th pitcher.
He last worked against Miami a couple of days ago. An inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and a strikeout.
Rendon, Dendecker, and Espinoza will greet him. 2 balls and a strike.
So everybody on the JV team's getting in tonight.
Late call, but Marksberry got it. Full count. Hey, got his man. Good comeback. Rendon is down on strikes, and there's one away in the 8th. Not much you can say about this one tonight. Ugly game. Got to grind through it. Try to put something together in the 9th. And then put it away and get ready for game 2 here tomorrow night. Teheran versus Roark.
So all that 2-out damage too.
Yeah.
Especially in the first inning when Matt Whistler got the first 2 guys out and then walked Harper. A double and a single later, it's 2-0.
Slow roller by Dendecker, and a shovel to first. There's out number 2. We promised you earlier tonight that we'd have our Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to #SouthDataStrongFan. Get your chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Look at Donna Williams digging into some Cracker Jacks.
Boy, I sure hope there's a prize in there. Otherwise, there'll be an investigation.
Me too.
That'd be a very bad thing.
I'm sure there were, or she wouldn't be smiling.
There you go. Another chance for Espinoza to hit. He came on in the 6th inning and singled. Part of a 17-hit attack by the Gannats.
That's a good thing because we went 340 something last night at Camden Yards. Portal stage manager Stephanie, she was asleep when Chris Davis hit that walk-off homer. She was sound asleep in the chair behind me. I ain't kidding.
Braves losing streak is going to reach 9 games. After a 42-42 start, Braves are about to fall to 12-38. 12 wins in 50 games. Fly ball well hit by Espinoza. That one is not coming back. Another 2-out run.
You know, the other day when Marksberry gave up 2 runs, he got the first 2 guys out with a strikeout, including a strikeout. And then he walked Ichiro, double to Prado, double to Bohr for the 2 runs. So it was 2 out, nobody on.
Happened to Whistler tonight.
Yeah.
Happened to Williams Perez the other day. That's the most, well, a lot of frustrating things about the growing pains of these young Brave starters, but that's to me the most frustrating one. You're 1 out, 1 pitch away from a clean inning and moving the game along, and then error, walk, hit, double, homer, whatever you want to call it, and crooked numbers are on the board very quickly, and the game gets out of hand in the blink of an eye. And that's strike 3 to Clint Robinson, and that'll end the inning and send us to the 9th inning. A solo homer from Danny Espinosa makes it 15-1.
And your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Capital punishment administered by the Nationals in Washington tonight. 15-1 is your score. The Braves have a grand total of 2 hits. They used 8 pitchers in 8 innings tonight. Washington will use its 3rd pitcher. This is Rafael Martin, I'm guessing.
Rafael Martin, his 6th appearance, some rough outings mixed in there, but he picked up a win somehow. 12 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings. This will be fun to watch. See what he's got. You got that many strikeouts and that high an ERA, you must be throwing pretty hard and leaving some pitches out over the plate.
Signed as a minor league free agent in 2010. He pitched in the Mexican League for 3 years. And missed high. Bill Singer, a national scout, saw him pitching in Mexico. He had never signed with a big league team. He was 22 when he was signed by Saltillo out of a tryout camp in 2007. Graduated from high school, worked 4 years in the construction industry before giving baseball a chance, and here he is at the ripe old age of 30 pitching in the major leagues.
Don't you love it? Great story.
And he just issued a walk to Cameron Maybin with a 14-run lead. Our SunTrust save of the game is Jordan Zimmerman.
He was the benefactor of the 15 runs tonight. Not all of them while he was in there, but he had the luxury of not having his best stuff tonight. 4 walks. He only gave up 2 hits, though, and the 1 run that the Braves parlayed without benefit of a hit in the second inning.
27 is on deck. Christian Betancourt.
If this score holds, the Braves will be outscored by the Nationals 86-46 in 13 games. As Adolis Garcia gets his first at bat of the night. And I think Escobar just told Martin, hey, it's 15-1, throw strikes.
Might have also had a tip about Adonis Garcia he could pass along if he knew a little bit about Garcia.
A couple of up and away strikes for Adonis. He's got good opposite field power. But not this time. He's down on strikes. 1 on, 1 out in the ninth. Christian Betancourt's going to bat for the pitcher.
The pitch was 90, but it looked like it was 99 as fast as his action is.
They are violating very, very sacred rules.
Yeah, but they didn't have it on there like tied on. This is just for photo.
Oh, that's okay?
Yeah. And so it's got the cap all folded up, chin strapped on the dog, and the dog's suffocating from heat. And got the dumb hat on it.
For those of you watching around the country and aren't aware of Joe's Bark in the Park rules, no hats on dogs. It's fine on cats, but no hats on dogs.
Yeah. Hats are fine on cats, but bandanas are great on dogs.
Right. I think they like bandanas better. That's right.
Yeah. See, there's a good look. It's even got a baseball. Pretty lab.
Swing and a miss. Christian Betancourt is down on strikes.
There's a different looking dog.
Keep up with the pennant races in True HD on MLB.TV Premium. Every out-of-market game is live on more than 400 supporting devices with real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Go to MLB.TV today. Fouled away by Swisher.
Whoa. Blue eye. I think it's part husky.
That's the kind of dog that looks at you and says, feed me or else. Right?
I think Mike Miller's got blue eyes. He's kind of husky. Wow. That dog's name might be Max. Max Scherzer's got different colored eyes.
Beauty. Foul back. Braves down to their last strike. Another walk. First and second with 2 outs. And Chase Peterson will get another crack at the Nationals. He's 0 for 3. That's Steve McCatty, terrific pitching coach. Outstanding stable of pitchers to work with. We'll see another one tomorrow night. Roark and Tehran, Miller, Gio Gonzalez, Banuelos, and Joe Ross on Sunday afternoon.
Again, 90 miles an hour, but he is some kind of sneaky quick. Big motion, big arm action. Looks harder.
Caught a corner, 0-2. Ground ball to second. That should do it. It will do it. The Braves are blown out in Washington. It was out of hand early. Matt Whistler allowed 7 runs in an inning and 2/3, and that was more than enough for the Nationals, who hold the Braves to a run on 2 hits in a 3-hour and 2-minute game in D.C. 15-1 our final. We'll recap it in a moment.